living in fear. And I can say that I've lived in fear on a lot of things throughout my life. And fear, close to fear, the cousin of fear is anger. A cousin of fear is anxiety. A cousin of fear is depression. The cousin of fear is sadness. You know what I'm saying? But when you're living in love, you feel free.
Roll me, Mac.
All right, who's the most challenging to shop for during the holidays? The most challenging to shop for during the holidays, I would say, is my parents. And I would say it's the most challenging because of, I would say, they don't really care about that shit as far as gifts goes. You know what I mean? Like, it's very simplistic when it comes to that. Grateful for that. However, you know, when you grow up and you get a bunch of shit bought for you from age 0 to, I don't know, 18, 17, whatever, you're in the house, the most extraordinary toys of their time. And I'm talking about from the Talk Boy from Home Alone, Teddy Ruxpin's, wrestling men, you know, wrestling action figures, video games, video game consoles. Let's not even go there for that. And a list of others. What did my brother have? A lot of damn Power Wheel trucks. And he had a wrestling buddy too. He had a Hulk Hogan joint. And like a list of other shit that they would purchase for us. Like for me, when I became an adult, I wanted to give them everything that I thought they wanted. You know what I'm saying? That we either couldn't afford or they just never bought it. You know what I mean? And early on, I was just buying shit, but it didn't seem like it was useful. You know what I'm saying? Like expensive stuff in a sense, as far as what we grew up on, but it wasn't being used. So now it's like, well, I ain't about to, you know, granted, my mom has spent a lot of money and wasted a lot of money on me and my brother. You know what I'm saying? My dad too. But like, I would rather, I'm not so much, I don't want to get it for my ego anymore. That's what I learned then. I was buying shit for my ego, which is, I'm sure they bought a lot of shit for us for their own ego too. Maybe, I don't speak for them, but I know for me, I was buying it like, yeah, I wanted to say, yeah, I did this, you know, as every kid, it grows up. Like, a kid makes it to the NBA, wants to buy his mom a house and their parents a house and whatever it is. But I wanted to be like, you know what? I got y'all that. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that stamp. Got that. Didn't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's material shit. It's material things. So what I like to do now is really find out and study them based on what they allow me to see. What could I get you? Which is what I really do for everybody that I would say that I shop for during the holidays. It's like really studying your opponent and figuring out what's something that could be of use for them. And what I find is just to be the most simplistic shit. And I think about what says this is mom, this is dad, in a simplistic way, not in a cheap way, but just something that is simple but yet effective is where my mind goes when I try to shop for them. And I would say I'm starting to get a hang of this shit a little bit. And it's something that's, I want to say, thoughtful in a sense, you know, because I mean, there were many times where I would get gifts and it would just be for the sheer notion of having a gift. It wasn't something that I actually wanted. But if you say, well, I don't like this, then you're ungrateful, but I didn't ask for it. you know what I mean, type thing. And that's you know, I think that's something, maybe that's something in our culture that is like something that was bad, like growing up black. I'm sure it happens in other cultures, damn it. I'm black. I'm speaking on growing up black, all right? Before you motherfuckers try to attack. I'm talking about, well, that shit happens in white communities and Latin communities and Asian communities and green communities, whatever other communities that you have. But, yeah, growing up black, like, somebody put some food on the table. I don't eat that. You ungrateful little shit. Eat that shit. I don't want it. You know what I mean? But there was plenty of things that I got. Literally, like, these, you know what I'm saying? It was gifts that, all right, well, I'm gonna use this. Not a lot of Christmas. Christmas was more specific, but like random ass gifts throughout the year, it would be like, all right, what am I supposed to do with this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't have anything. It would be just a color that you know you need certain colors to go with it. I can't just wear this white, this kind of off white and like forest green, like New York Jets shoe with everything. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you gonna wear them? When I get some more shit to wear with it, you know, honestly. But eventually I did. You know, I got like a New York Jets jersey, and then I wore it with some gray sweats. You know, male lingerie. We were too young for that shit. I don't think we was holding nothing like that high school wise. But nevertheless, gray sweats and the New York Jets finally brought those shoes together, is what I'm saying. But getting back to them, yeah, it's very challenging. It's very challenging because you want to get something that says, I appreciate all the shit that you put into me and my brother, and their, you know, would be their future granddaughter as well. And trying to buy them shit, and then you see it sitting in the damn closet when you come home to visit 6 months later or whatever months later, and it's, or years later, and it ain't even, you know, been opened up and shit. You know, I don't take it as an ungrateful thing. It's like, okay, well, let me get you something that you actually can use. I don't want you to take it for my benefit. You know what I'm saying? I want that gift to be for you. That's really what it's about to me. And so I look at like my parents being probably the most challenging for me to shop for and I look at that as in a great way. It's like, okay, well, now you're gonna force me to think. I've got to sit there and I got to come up with something that says, this is my mom, this is my pop, and then just let the chips fall where they may. But I say for the most part, it's challenging, but to me, it's well worth it in the end. Like, to get you something that you're actually going to use versus something that just says ego all over from me. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to buy some expensive shit or whatever, or something that's high priced. But if it means that you're going to use it, and even if it's like from my standpoint, perspective, being very, you know, a very simple thing, by all means, I'm here for it, and have to respect it. But the most challenging, the most challenging ones to shop for is definitely my parents. Love y'all. Do you ever feel pressure to be the provider in your family or relationship? Yes, hands down. If you want to be respected, yes, a man must provide. That's just what it is, man. You can ask the many men who, well, even the ones that are providing still get disrespected, depending on how well the woman you've chosen was raised and how she values men. But it's, yeah, definitely that pressure of being male and wanting to again provide and have say so in matters. Don't get me wrong, there's some women that still, they want their man to be that man, that they see the potential in them, but they're still, you know, without work, and they sit home and the game, you know what I mean, and try to tell their woman what to do from that. And you know, like I said, depending on what she's been through and what she's been exposed to and what she's trying to convey to her family, will determine how she allows that to go down. But that pressure, that pressure's there, for me at least. And it's pressure by myself, and it's also that pressure that's there from essentially society. And I look at it from a respect thing. I prefer to be respected. Yes, I prefer to be respected, man. And anything that does not respect, remove. You know what I'm saying? Remove yourself from the table when respect is no longer served when it comes to that. And so like the pressure of having to get up and put that work in every day, no matter how tired you get mentally. And the same thing goes for women too. Mothers, mothers that really are that really do put on the face, whatever you want to call it, to get up, go to work. Some of them might be bosses at their jobs, come home, got to be the boss in the house too. The ones that put in that effort, you get out what you put in. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put into God and his universe is what you're going to get back in return. It may not come from the people what you want, the people that you want it from, but whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. And I look at being the provider as something that is, it feels good, number one, for me as a man. I'll say that. To be able to provide. My kid needs something, not wants, but needs. There's something that she needed throughout when she was she was younger coming up, and she needed something, obviously from far away. That kind of parenting is a little challenging, but if she needed something, cheerleading shit, or if it was a field trip or whatever it was, that she might have wanted or needed rather, something to, for like for school, she could do that. Call on me. If not me, then a member of my family. For that matter, obviously for her mom wasn't able to get that, whatever it is, whatever the case may be. It takes a tribe, it takes a village to raise a kid. And but I took pride in that. I took pride in the fact that again, putting in that effort of working hard. That's one thing I will forever give credit to my father for, is I've never seen someone work so hard. I had a great example when it came to as far as like providing and getting up at the earliest of hours to get to work after getting off of work late. Don't think that's healthy for the mind and the body, but getting off at like 10 at night to get up at 3 to be at work by 4, working 12 hours to 16-hour shifts and all that stuff. My father did that shit. Much respect to him for that. So, and I've never heard him complain about the shit. Not one time. I've never heard him, at least not to me. Now, my father comes from a different time frame where they probably don't speak on that shit. Might drink it away or some other outlet as far as like to deal with the challenges that come with that. But as far as, the day-to-day stuff, never heard him complain about that shit. Never complained about having to, to put, to keep the lights on, to keep food on the table. And, like being that provider and wanting to be respected, it comes with a lot, because one of the biggest challenges for parents, I'll speak on fathers right here because I'm a father, is one thing is like, if I give you time, I don't have money. But if I give you money, I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to find that balance with that. And moms have it, again, like I said, moms have it too, but I'm just speaking on my case. I definitely know a few friends and ladies that I've known over time that were single moms, whether they were teachers, whether they were, worked in the medical field or, I don't know, random ass companies, but they had to work pretty much all fucking day, come home, try to help a child with school, try to find maybe an hour for themselves, and then get up, do shit all over again. And it's challenging. It's definitely challenging. So when, especially like if you have a situation where you come home and the man is like, we're not working, how does that make you feel after working 12 hours? You know what I'm saying? To come home to find your boyfriend or baby daddy, baby's father, whatever name you have for it, not doing shit, and you've been busting your ass all day. And so it's like that, you have that there, that pressure is there. And if you care to have it, I mean, I just know that I take it on because I know that it helps me become a better man for myself, truly. And so like the pressure of being the provider for the family or being a provider in a relationship, yeah, for sure. Like I said, to me, it's about respect. I don't know how you can garner respect from a woman ultimately without working, without putting forth something. We don't have the luxury of being loved unconditionally, fellas. Unfortunately, we really don't. And it's, I don't think that's not something for women to be pissed about. And like, how can you say that? You know, I love my husband or boyfriend, whatever, unconditionally, but only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. And for men, is we're loved based off what we can do. So again, the more you put in, this is what you get out. And even sometimes when you put in, you don't get shit back, and it's just you still have to perform. You have the burden of performance, and when, in a sense, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to like respect in this world for you as a man, and that's nothing to cry over. That's just something to accept that this is how it is. It's hypergamy, baby. You know what I mean? You just have to accept how hypergamy works. And once you understand it and you see that the differences of love, one that loves idealistically and one that loves opportunistically, and when you can see that and you can understand why, you play according to the rules of the game. And it's not something you're gonna like, but it is. But that's just how it is. Okay, but I mean, what I say, when saying all of that, it's still, I still take great pride in being able to provide, being able to be someone that, whether it be a friend, it be a family member, a tribe, somebody in the tribe was able to call upon you for something that they actually needed. Not necessarily wanted, but they actually needed, you know what I mean? And being able to say, okay, I got you. And giving it unconditionally, number one. You know what I'm saying? I believe in conditional love at work. Outside of that, I do my best to practice unconditional love. And what I mean by that is not doing shit that I don't want to do and doing things that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. But the pressure, yeah, there's pressure. There's pressure of, again, the pressure of not being respected. It's already tough enough trying to gain respect in today's society with the way that entitlement has gone in America. You know what I mean? On both ends, on both men, women, and all that shit. But this entitlement shit is getting out of control. And it's, yeah, put the work in, baby. You gotta put that work in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really just about the respect part, truly, because I view respect as love. If you do not respect me, I don't believe you love me. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me you love me and disrespect me. It doesn't work together. You know what I mean? And it's, I mean, that's essentially just how I see it. But is there pressure of being, the provider for a family or in a relationship? Fuck yeah, it's well worth it. What is the most stupid thing you've ever done in your entire life? Quit. whatever it was, quit. Because the thing about quitting, you have to start over, whatever it is. And for somebody who has quit multiple jobs when it got challenging, someone who has quit, playing basketball, being on a basketball team when it got challenging. Hell, when somebody has quit the parenting, when it got challenging, when certain parts got challenging, and having to find yourself again back at square one, and it gets tough, and seeing yourself be that inner child, trying to do grown-up things or teenage things, and the entitlement of thinking that I don't have to deal with it. I can just let it be. That just shows the safety net that I came from. So, but yeah, quitting. Quitting is something that I would say was the most stupid thing I've ever done to me, because again, it's about starting over. And the thing about quitting is that you quit one thing, you'll quit everything. You just about quit everything the rest of your life. And it's like learning to stick things out. And sometimes it catches me off. It catches me off because I've stayed in things too long and I've quit things too quickly. So it's like trying to find like that balance, right? My last relationship, I stayed too long. Truth be told. And for my estimation, as far as like what I was, I allowed myself to endure, if you will. But overall, it taught me a lot. Like I was supposed to endure everything that I got to endure and learn from it. And I believe the same for her. But at the same time, it was just, I was taking in what I thought I deserved. You know what I'm saying? Like a person's going to stay in some shit for as long as they feel like they deserve it. Anything you do more than what you feel you deserve, you're not going to take. And that's what once I felt that, then all right, let's get back to the quitting shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of what happened. But the most stupidest thing I think I've ever done is definitely quit. Again, quitting is something that I wouldn't want to teach anyone after me. You know what I'm saying? If learn anything from me, don't do things you don't want to finish out. Don't cry to quit. Cry to keep going. Get a reward from it, as E.T. Eric Thomas likes to say, and that's how I look at it. So it's like the most stupidest thing I've ever done. The most stupidest thing that I've ever done in my life, to me, has been quitting. Are you generally present in the moment, or do you spend a lot of time in your head? Whew. And let me tell you, anyone that has talked to me in the last 5 years knows that I tend to try to say, be in the present moment. I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to me, because I have bought real estate in my fucking head. I can tell you that. I have the anxiety to prove it, and depression. All of that has stemmed from being in my head. Too much in the future, anxiety. Too much in the past, depression. And trying to find the present moment, you feel free, you're at peace. You know what I mean? You're calm. So it's like trying to find that. Telling the inner child to chill the fuck out. I got this. It's an ongoing battle. Who's driving the car each day? There are some days out of the week, the inner child is driving and I'm just in the back holding up the frame of looking like, it looks like me, but really the inner child me is behind the wheel and driving however the fuck he wants to do, and driving with anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like, let a person with anxiety drive your car. Brand new car, fresh off the lot. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't It's not old enough to drive mentally and not old enough to drive physically. Imagine what's going to happen to the car. You're going to get into some shit. You're going to have some accidents, and your anxiety rate or insurance rates is going the fuck up. But being aware, thank you, Eckhart Tolle, for teaching how to be aware when the ego is driving. You know the ego is driving when you feel like you have to be something, like you feel like you're not enough. You have to be this and then you'll be okay. That's when the ego is there, front and center, driving the car. And I just do my best to try to be in the present moment and have to laugh at said ego. And that ego is a bitch. It really is. The ego will try to prove itself. The ego will have you taking yourself too seriously. The ego is, it's part of you. It's part of you, but it doesn't exist at the same time. How weird is that, right? That's why I love Alan Watts talks about the ego is something that doesn't even exist, but it's still like a part of you. It's tough to understand, but once you grasp that understanding, it's easier for you to manage it. And me and the ego go back and forth, because who are you? You're gonna try to, wherever you think you are is what you're gonna try to defend, and that's where your ego comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody says some shit about you, like says you're ugly, you ain't, you're too damn tall, you're too fat, whatever you identify with, you're gonna try to defend the shit. You're gonna respond to it because your ego is like, hold up, motherfucker, you can't just say whatever you want. Whatever a person says ain't got shit to do with you. Even if it's about you, it ain't got shit to do with you. It's their standards. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna go against? It's their belief system that you're defending against. You're trying to defend their belief systems against you. It's essentially what we're doing when we're in disagreements, when a motherfucker says some shit about you, but you don't agree with it. But if you get upset, Don Miguel Ruiz believes that when you get upset, it's because a part of it believes that a bit of this is true. And essentially, from a Stoic standpoint, it's either the truth or it's nonsense. But when you get caught in it and your inner child is driving, the inner child don't give a fuck what all that Stoic shit you done studied, all that spirituality shit. Your ego is like, man, fuck this shit. What's happening? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let you talk about me. And it's a weakness. You know what I'm saying? I look at it as a weakness, and I've had some weak moments, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happens when you stay in your fucking head. When you live in your head, there is all the concepts of fear. You're living in fear. And I can say that I've lived in fear on a lot of things throughout my life. And fear, close to fear, the cousin of fear is anger. A cousin of fear is anxiety. A cousin of fear is depression. The cousin of fear is sadness, you know what I'm saying? But when you're living in love, you feel free, right? You feel free, and you want that freedom. And how do you find that freedom? You find that freedom by being in the present moment and accepting things as they are, not what you want them to be. Like amor fati, the Stoic phrase, amor fati, meaning accepting things as they are, not what you want them to be. And I forget it quite often, which is why I say it quite often. And same thing about being in the present moment. I do my best to try to be in the present moment as much as I can so that my mind can rest, my mind can be at ease, my mind can be calm, and seeing myself outside of myself, detaching myself from what I believe I am, and then looking at things from space, seeing how small this shit is. You know what I'm saying? And like when you look at shit from space and you look down here on Earth, this situation is very minute. It's very small, but in our heads, it's bigger. It's commonly worse in your head than it is in reality. And that's where the staying in your head comes from. It's the trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ever had to deal with these thoughts and stuff alone, if you were picked on, and you know what I'm saying, you come from a tribe that did a lot of hazing, you know what I'm saying? Like they projected their insecurities a lot. and you just wanted to fit in because you wanted love. So it's like, all right, no, that ain't true. Man, I ain't kissed that girl. Nope, man, I ain't do that. I wasn't down there with her. No, you was down there with her, motherfucker. Let's go. That's what happened. We saw you, motherfucker. What you mean? We know you, R. Kelly. We know you on that damn tape. Talking about it wasn't you. We see you, nigga. We know your name on the trophy. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But you get the point. And what I'm saying is like living in your head comes with so much challenge and fog, right? Because you end up with so much fog. You come up with all these scenarios in your head that are not even true. It's like anticipating a hurricane coming to hit you, and then the hurricane never comes. Anticipating the tornado warning. Tornado never hits. It's always worse in your head. And if you see it enough times, you keep anticipating the storm, and it's not even storm season. And that is like life with anxiety. But what if it does? What if it happens? What if this shit happens again? You deal with the shit when it comes. That's really all we can do. Trying to control the uncontrollable. Living in your head. For people like myself who have lived in their head, I believe that trying to control the uncontrollable is par for course. It's one of the first things your traumatic brain teaches itself, to try to control the uncontrollable, which only creates some more anxiety from my experience with it. But to learn to live in the present, to learn to practice amor fati, to learn to just be calm in chaos is practice. It's a skill. It's a skill to be calm in chaos. But you think a lot clearer when you're calm in chaos. Let them be upset. Let them be out of whack. Be calm. You know what I'm saying? Like learn to be calm in chaos, like a cop. Like how? Well, no, it depends on your district, I guess. Because shit, but the crimes on shooting civilians, but like from the medical field, again, them having to be calm in chaos, having to operate on said patient who just took a gunshot wound, or a person that's just on the verge of dying, and they have to make crucial decisions in a chaotic moment. And again, learning to be calm, learning that skill to be calm. And our music affects us too. You know what I'm saying? So I learned to listen to a lot of spa music. You know what I'm saying? Instrumentals. It allows me to think when I need to concentrate on some shit. But yeah, being in the present moment. Yes, I mean, there's times where I am in the present moment, but definitely a lot of living in my head, and fear, the inner child takes over. And that's when we end up living in, me living in my head. But for the most part, I'd say that I do I believe I'm doing a fairly better job than I've done in recent years as far as being in the present moment. But definitely live in the head on a lot of things. So yeah, I can just continue to work towards being in the present moment, trying to find that calm moment in chaos. Yeah. All right. That's pretty much it. Good night, kids.